What's good, team? Today I thought I would show you guys what my thought process is in the morning, my routine, and what I look for in the trade, and with some live examples here. This was Tuesday last week. It's a trade I actually, or Thursday, sorry, it's a trade I actually took. I'll give you guys exactly what goes through my mind, what goes through my head as I'm going into it, how I build my bias, and how I just do everything really from the start. So what I usually do, I usually get on the charts around 9:20, 9:25. So this here is 9:15. Um, we go on the 4 hour here, we can see that we're super bullish. No reason to take a short here. Just from a pure probability standpoint, there's no reason to take shorts. Other than that, that's pretty much all I look for on the 4 hours. My bias or my trend really. I also kind of try to find like an intraday draw on liquidity to then go to the main draw. So looking at this, I would say that our main draw is obviously all-time highs. Why? Because we're bullish, so we're expecting market to go higher. The intraday draw would most likely be this 4 hour gap, but it doesn't have to go back to it. As you guys can see here, this one didn't get retraced into it. This one didn't get retraced into. It's kind of just like there to. Oh, it did get retraced into it. I just didn't see. So it already did retrace into it. So that's good. It's good. That's a good start, as they say. And I drop down to the 1 hour, same thing. I just kind of look for what's it called? I look for any sort of like PD array I could kind of go and my overall trend, maybe some day drawn liquidity that I didn't see. If we were bearish on the day, it would most likely be here, but we're not. We're in a bullish trend. I'm not trying to take a short, so it's not happening. Drop down to the 15-minute here. Um, you guys know I trade AMD. So what do I trade? I trade something that looks kind of like this, right? And then like this and like this. This is what I trade, okay? So what I do is I look for this exact thing on the chart before I take any trade. So as I get on the charts here, it's 9:15. I can see that we've just swept this sell side liquidity here. Realistically, this is the one I'd be interested in. We swept that one as well. I'm not gonna sweep the lowest sell side we took because this one would have been enough. From a pure probability standpoint as well, I like taking the Asia low, which to me is this one here, all the way to the London high, and I'm looking for an OTE retrace, hopefully. Um, so in order for me to take an A plus setup, now we don't have access to the SMT. I'd be looking at this and I'd just be thinking like, okay, we've accumulated here, we've created these highs that we want to go take. We're bullish on the day. My drawn liquidity is higher, and I'm looking for longs. So in order to get a good RR, right? Because we're not gonna start targeting some random shit that doesn't exist. We're gonna go to the high. I need to do something like this. So that being said, we're gonna let market play out. It's only 9:15, so again, I wouldn't be on the chart quite yet. I'd be on the charts at this candle here. So there you go. We get our sweep instantly. From there, drop down to the 1 minute. Here on the 1 minute, we're looking for either a engulfing candle, an inversion, any sign that we're going back into a bullish market to go take out the highs. So here you guys can see we don't have much. We have this 1 minute fair value gap here to hold on to. And other than that, there's no bullish engulfing, there's nothing. So we're going to mark out our 1 minute gap. We can also check the 5 minute. I usually only check to see the 5 minute if we're later in the day, like if it's 10:30, something like that. It's currently 9:44, so no need for that really, okay? And then from there, with the fair value gap, no inversion, no bullish engulfing, so we wait and we sweep the low one more time, and here is an engulfing candle. So let me go back. I just went a little too fast. I would, me personally, enter right on this engulfing here. That's just the way I trade. We've accumulated. We went to a pretty array. We're bullish on the day. This is the most likely zone. We're in the 4 hour fair value gap I talked about before. It's 9:52. Macro's about to start. We're in a bullish market. I would send the buy. I'll put 10 cons so I could like take partials and shit along the way. Show you guys what I would do. From there, we even have a smaller time frame here, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, my SL will not go at this low here. Why? Because the trade idea is really invalidated once we go below the higher time frame kind of like move. So it would be down here. So my SL is really down here. I think it's actually the same low. I think I might have jumped the gun on that one. Yeah. So here's what I would do. Because the RR here is 1, 2 entries here, SL's here right now, I would kind of like go about it like this. So the RR is currently 1 to 6. Now that's a risky trade to take, in my opinion. It's a good trade to take, but you don't need all that, okay? So I would probably put my stop somewhere here at these lows, kind of expecting maybe a last minute sweep. Put my stop down here for now. Right? Oh, did my order just vanish? Okay. We're gonna get back in. Put my SL here at these lows, TP at the highs, and go BE around a 1 to 1. So the 1 to 1 is here in this gap. The 1 to 1 is around here in this gap here. So once we reach this gap, we're gonna go maybe take some profits, maybe go BE. Again, for this exact example, because there's a gap, I might wait for the gap to close to go BE because you are looking for a bullish momentum is what you're looking for, okay? So let the trade play out. We reach the gap, break through the gap. Now we're BE. Why are we BE here? I'll explain it very, very quickly. The SL should be where your trade is invalidated. At this point, we've proven that we're bullish. We want to go back above. The SL could go either here because it should never reaches back to here, but also there's a bunch of bullish PD arrays or fair value gaps along the way, and we've just inversed one. So your stop can go BE because in order for this trade to come back to your entry, it needs to violate this bullish inverse fair value gap, this bullish fair value gap, this bullish fair value gap, and everything in between. So realistically, your trade should never go back to your entry at this point, and the SL is there for that. If your trade hits SL, is because your trade idea was wrong. So we're gonna let it play out. It's going higher. We've just wicked this high. At this point, I'd be probably taking 5 cons off or half off. Maybe trail my stop a little bit higher up, something like this, below all these fair value gaps here, below all this displacement, and wait for price to just kind of give us that TP right there. Now, right there is a great model, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. As I came into the day, I've identified what we need to sweep. I identified which time I was looking for. I've identified my higher time frame PD array. I've identified the zone, which is OT, where I would take a high probability setup. And I've identified that we were indeed accumulating in a London session. Now, I do get onto the charts around 9:30 because that's typically where the moves will happen. Also, I've been faked out before from entering too early. I'll give you guys an example. You guys are eager to get on the charts. You get on the charts at 8:30. This sweep happens, and then we just keep accumulating after until market open. There's no point trying to take a trade before market open because this is usually what happens here. Okay. Other than that, boys and girls, I'll just show you guys really quick what I would do if I was a beginner, because this is really a lot of market experience. This is a model I'm trading, and the truth is, you guys don't need to do all that. The one thing I would advise is to trade the unicorn setup, which is basically the second entry of my model. So my model goes something like this, right? Like I said, it goes something like this, and then we kind of just sweep, sweep, bang. The unicorn setup is designed to go like this. Retrace and back. So you've already had your bullish displacement. You've already know that you're in a bullish market. You have a fair value gap, and you wait for the retrace back into the fair value gap for the unicorn entry. So what does that look like? It looks like my exact setup, but higher. So the entry that you guys would take for this unicorn setup would be right here. So on your 1 minute, you've identified that this here was your inverse fair value gap. This here is your breaker and shit that you need to go. So you've made higher, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So at the previous lower high, you can identify this as a breaker slash a support resistance type of thing, but it's not actually. So for the unicorn setup to work, you need to break through a high or a low, but in a bullish market, you need to break through a high, and you guys might want to write this down. You break through the high with displacement, retrace back into the fair value gap that was created at the point where the high happens. So if you're going like this, and then you go like this, you need to break through this high with displacement, with momentum, and it has to create a fair value gap on this leg. And on the retrace, like this, that's where you enter to target the high. So the bullish unicorn setup here is a 5-minute fair value gap right there that was created at the point or at the level of these highs. And you enter that at the high of the fair value gap, put the SL below the candle, and you target your high. Now the RR is a little smaller, but the win rate is insane. A 1.3 is really, really good. With a 50% win rate, you're profitable, right? And you're gonna have a way better win rate than this. You can most likely even target like a 1 to 2 and still get your trade to go your way. Now I could be wrong, but I see. There you go. 1 to 2 hit. So what I'm trying to say is you guys are in a bullish market. Take longs, do not take shorts. There's no point in taking shorts in a bullish market. More likely than not, you're gonna take an L if you go counter trend. So you go with the trend, you find your draw, you find the zone where you're willing to enter high probability setups. You need to keep in mind that markets move like this. So why enter a trade prematurely? Here, let's say. Why enter the trade here prematurely, targeting a 1 to 2 or whatever, when you know you're going to get a pullback at some point, right? So you wait for your pullback and you enter and you take your trade. So the unicorn setup is a very powerful tool to do just that, okay? Now, it takes a less intuition like my setup. It's the same exact thing, and you're just getting a slightly worse RR for less risk. So the payoff really, I would, if you're a beginner, I would highly advise starting with the unicorn setup. And again, all you got to do is wait for some type of accumulation, sweep in the opposite direction of the trend into a higher time frame PD array, most likely below your 50% line of the, or 50% point of the range. And from there, you're just looking for some kind of bullish displacement through a high. So you can go on your 1 minute, you have this high here. We've displaced through it. At this point, we're waiting for a fair value gap to form in either on the 1 or on the 5. Now, as this trade goes on, I would probably be interested in entering this trade at this fair value gap here because that's the one that's equal to the high. But you need to keep in mind that markets are evolving and they're giving you information as they print the candles. So you need to keep an eye open for a 15-minute gap or a 5-minute gap that could work. And if your 5-minute gap ends up being created and overlaps with your high and it's higher up, I would say use this. There's no point in risking like for what? For a fucking let me see. For like a 0.3 R difference. Like don't even worry about it, okay? So keep your eyes open for new information the market is giving you and look for this right here. So your market is doing this. I'm going to do it again because I need this to get in your guys' head. Your market is going to move like this. This is a trend. Even when it's accumulating on the higher time frame or on the lower time frame, there's always a time frame that's doing this. So enter here or here or here, and you guys are golden, right? Now, when your market is doing this right here, these things right here, there's always going to be on a slightly smaller time frame something that looks like this. Because that's what this is. Okay? And we're looking to enter right here. So you guys can go back test this shit. You guys can go do whatever you want. But again, do not blindly enter. You guys are waiting to see momentum that goes in your trade. The displacement out of a certain level is the most overlooked aspect in trading, and it's the thing that boosts my win rate like crazy, like almost pretty much instantly. Like if I didn't get this gap here, I never would have entered this trade, right? If we just kind of dilly-dallied here, it means the trade is not valid, okay? So when you get into the market, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna come back here. You come into the market. Wait, this is 840. On the 5. This is 925. Good. This is exactly where I would be in the market if when I came in, and I'd be on the 15-minute. So I did my hard time frame analysis. I know we're bullish. I know where we want to go. I know that we have the 4-hour PDA right down here that we could want to tap into, and I marked out my Fibonacci retracement tool to know my range and shit, right? From there, okay, you're just kind of waiting, but as you get on the chart, you can see that we've accumulated. you can see that we're currently moving counter trend. Now all you're waiting for is a bullish confirmation to go with the trend. The trend is up. Go up. If that makes any sense, right? Now you get this massive fucking candle, these two massive fucking wicks. Go up. Okay? Now realistically, once you get this wick right here and you tap into your zone, that's where you should drop to the 1 minute and kind of try to find a 1 minute. And this is, again, you guys need to start putting some fucking time in the market, because this right here, if we break above this with displacement, this is literally a unicorn setup in the 1 minute. We made a low, we made a high, we swept the low, and if we break above and we create a fair value gap, that's what the unicorn setup is, right? I'm going to draw it again. The unicorn setup is this, and then up from there. What are we doing right now? Right here, bang, bang, bang. So if this break, I don't remember, to be honest. It might not, but all I'm saying is if this was to break above, that'd be enough for me. Let's see, and it sweeps it. So no deal. A wick is not a break. You need a candle closure and you need a fair value gap to be created. If there's no fair value gap, it means there's no displacement. The fair value gap is only there to indicate that we've displaced through. We're showing bullish momentum. Okay. We sweep again the low. At this point here, we get our engulfing candle, we get our displacement, we get our move up. Break back, break above, fair value gap is created here. Are we going to retrace into it? Maybe not. But who gives a shit, okay? At this point, you already have your setup on the 5 minute. All I'm saying is if you guys try to study and go to the lower time frames, you're going to see different things. We're going to keep looking. And now we go to the draw, right? If I remember correctly? Yeah. So this is all you guys need to keep in mind, that you need to keep the other time frames. Now, I'm not saying look at the hourly, I'm not saying look at the 4 hour, but you want to enter a day trade, you want to be in and out. You want to enter the trade around 9:30, 9:40, maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30, but you don't want to be on the charts till fucking 4 p.m. So 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes at the max, you're looking for any reason to enter the trade, any reason for bullish momentum. You break through the high, you go to the 5 minute, you see this fair value gap right here. Why wouldn't you take this entry on this fair value gap, right? Everything is aligning. You have a bullish, and we don't even know. Maybe there's an SMT as well, but we're going to keep that aside. You're in a bullish trend. Your drawn liquidity is higher. Just entered a 4 hour bullish PD array, which is the fair value gap. You went back into OT of your zone. You never broke a low. You never went bearish on the higher time frame because you're sweeping it. You're creating candles and wicks. You get your candle engulfing on the 1 minute. You get a fair value gap on the 5 minute. Bullish. What else do you need, right? Like realistically, what else do you need for reasons to go higher? Okay? But when you get onto the charts, you need to understand this fact right here. When you're looking at what the market is giving you as information, is there a reason for me to go long? If you're here, why the fuck would you go long? Right? You're kind of just accumulating. If you're here, why would you go long? You haven't tapped to a higher time frame PD array. You have no bullish displacement. You have no kind of breakthrough any sort of high. You have nothing going on. So just wait. Just be patient. That's all you guys need to do. All right, I'm gonna do another one. Let me see. You're on the 4 hour, and we're bullish, right? Overall, all I'm looking for is where is this market going? Is it going? What the fuck did I just do? Is it going up or is it going down? I don't care about this little leg. Overall, what is this market doing or has been doing for the past month? It's been going up. Why in the fuck would you go short? The probability of the market going higher is so much bigger when we've just been going higher, right? You go on your 1 hour. Okay, you're looking for PD arrays at this point. We tapped into a double fair value gap down here. That's good enough on its own, but we're still going to be wary of it. We're going to mark it down. Now we're on the 15 minute. Okay, we're looking at this. We're looking for this right here. Again, we're looking for this. And if you're trading the unicorn, what the fuck? And if you're trading the unicorn setup, right? Then we're looking for this on the lower time frame. Okay? Now, when you look at this, we just tapped this, okay? We still haven't broken a high on the 15 minute, and it's only 9:15. So technically, I'm not even on the charts yet. So we're going to wait. I'm going to go on the 5 so I can be exactly on the charts when it happens, okay? 1, 2, 3. It should be... Wait, it went too fast. Okay, right here I'm on the charts. Okay, this is where I get on the charts. It's 9:20, 9:25. Now I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, okay, we're bullish. I'm gonna mark out my range again, Asia to London. We tapped OTE. This is good. Now in my head right here, I'm probably thinking I most likely missed the entry. We're gonna be looking for something else. My draw is London high always, okay? Is session high. And then if we have something like this, I can then like leave runners up to the high. But usually I always kind of just tend to go for London high because that's the higher probability target that we're gonna hit. So right there, we're gonna print the candle. And it doesn't do much. This is the 925 candle. This one sweeps the low down here. As this happens right here, I'm thinking, okay, let me go to the 1 minute. We just swept the low again. We're back in the zone. This to me looks like accumulation, manipulation, and the distribution might be coming next, okay? Now, you guys have seen me draw it. I'm going to draw it again right next to you so you guys understand. I want you guys to draw this on your charts if you're not sure. Just go like this. Just do this. Literally just do this. Does this look like this? Yeah, kind of. If you guys are trading unicorn, same thing. Just do this. Go down, up, down, break, break, break. This is literally all you guys need to draw right there. And then you look, this is what you're looking for right here, okay? Now, we're going to let it play out a little bit. Big displacement up, okay? Right here, big displacement up. Now, me personally, to be honest, I would have entered down here. Why? Because we got the engulfing candle on this one, okay? In the zone. So I would have entered there. But I'm going to go for the unicorn setup here, okay? So fair value gap is created. No high has been broken through just yet. We've just made a high. Wick the fair value gap. Now we have these highs here on the higher time frame and a 1 minute fair value gap that was just created here. This is a unicorn setup right here. Enter the trade right now. Literally just put your stop below it. TP at the high. This is a 1 to like almost 2. Lay it out. TP hit. This is all you guys need, man. I'm not even scared when I write these things down. I know what's going to happen before it happens. If you go on the 5 minute here, I'm sure there's a fair value gap right there. Bang, right at the highs. Broke through the highs of displacement, fair value gap. It's as simple as that. I would have been entered down here, but it's really as simple as that. Now, if you were to leave a run into the high, let's say, would you get it? No. Wait. No. You don't get it. You get stopped out. Okay. So, but still, there you go. Like, it worked again. All I'm saying, you guys, is backtest this shit. Okay? Go onto your charts, draw this. Literally, it's as stupid as this. Just draw this and draw this. This is what it should look like on the lower time frame, and like at the 1 minute. This is what it should look like on the 5:15 minute, and that's what you're waiting for. Once it happens, you're looking for any bullish reason, engulfing, inverse fair value gap, fucking fair value gap, whatever you want to go along on the bullish market. When I get into the charts, literally this is what my eyes are looking for. These two things. If I don't see this, I don't take a trade. On that note, guys, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up if you guys have any question. Again, my Discord is free. You can join it. Watch me live trade. I execute these things live every single morning. Other than that, guys, love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.